Is Keir Starmer gay? Must be. Keir Starmer? Come on. I bet on it, wouldn't you? Keir Starmer says he's prepared to make some unpopular decisions. But beware of this, it's a sleight of hand. Because we can all live with some unpopular decisions. It would be unpopular not to give 11 billion to Africa if you're a massive greenie. It would be... Can we at least start that as a rumour? Can you print that, Daily Mirror? Can you? Katie Hopkins libels Keir Starmer as banging Phil Schofield. I don't think actually it would be that way round. Would it? Who'd be doing who?
An unexpected moment unfolded just an hour ago when Katie Hopkins, known for her blunt and deeply controversial opinions, went head-to-head with Keir Starmer live on air. What began as a routine political interview quickly escalated into a tense and highly charged exchange covering taxes, immigration, and Labour's future plans. As the pressure mounted, Starmer faced a barrage of sharp, uncompromising questions, while Hopkins showed no sign of backing down. The atmosphere in the studio shifted from controlled discussion to open confrontation in a matter of minutes. So what exactly happened during this on-air showdown? How did Starmer handle the intensity in real time? And more importantly, what could this clash mean for his leadership and Labour's position moving forward?
Must be. Keir Starmer? Come on. I bet on it, wouldn't you? He seems gay, he looks gay, he dresses gay. His sort of outlook is gay, staying in Lord Alley's.
Real quick before we jump back in, smash that like button and subscribe if you're into this kind of political coverage. Most people watching aren't subscribed yet, and it makes a huge difference for the channel, and it's totally free. Alright, let's get straight back into it.
So, Trump just tweeted to Keir Starmer, hold on. Trump demands Keir Starmer opens up the North Sea and gets rid of windmills. There's things I love about this, right? How to get Keir out. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
The live show was supposed to be a calm breakdown of Labour's plans, but that didn't last long. Keir Starmer came prepared for a controlled policy discussion, while Katie Hopkins had something completely different in mind. Known for going straight on the attack, she challenged him from the very first moment, and the rising tension in the studio quickly left viewers stunned.
My name is Keir Starmer, and I'm here to fuck the foundations. When I became your Prime Minister, not only did I get new hair and glasses provided by a donor who now has full access to 10 Downing Street and my bedroom, we were promised three things. Number one, we would be fully costed and fully funded. We're so fully funded and fully costed, we're essentially just like Katie Price, or HS2, or the public sector in Argentina pre-Milei, depending on your sense of humour. In order to make the £22 billion hole in the budget even worse, we have spunked a whole bunch of cash at train drivers and junior doctors. This guarantees two things. Number one,
From the very beginning, Hopkins made it clear this wasn't going to be a gentle conversation. She went straight for the issues that strike a nerve with many voters: taxes, immigration, and questions about Labour's direction under Starmer. With each pointed question, the pressure in the studio seemed to build, the mood turning sharper and more confrontational as the exchange edged into deeper water.
And, oh yes, Nigel Farage. The power of these guys together is simply enormous. It will make Nigel Farage unbeatable. He will be Prime Minister of Great Britain by 2027, if not.
Hopkins kept the momentum on her side, pressing the tax issue with sharp, rapid-fire challenges. She framed Labour's plans as a direct hit on ordinary workers, arguing families already stretched by the cost of living couldn't handle more pressure. Starmer tried to pivot, repeating that the focus would be on those with the broadest shoulders, and that stronger public services would ultimately benefit everyone. On immigration, he aimed for balance, acknowledging public concern while emphasizing control, fairness, and economic need. He spoke about fixing backlogs, improving border processes, and creating a system that works rather than one driven by headlines. But the clash in styles was obvious. Hopkins pushed for blunt, headline-ready answers. Starmer leaned into careful, policy-heavy language. That contrast made the moment feel lopsided. Viewers looking for simple, decisive lines may have felt he was circling the issue, while supporters might argue he was trying to avoid oversimplifying complex problems. Either way, the exchange highlighted a familiar challenge for him, translating detailed policy thinking into punchy, emotionally resonant messaging under pressure.
£300. Where are they supposed to rustle that? What would you like them to do? You bastards. Rachel Reeves, what would you like them to do? Would you like them to what? Auction off a kidney, maybe? I mean, what use is a fucking 85-year-old kidney? It's probably knackered. It's had that much piss go through it over a whole lifetime. They can't sell one of them. What do you want?
Unimpressed with Starmer's responses, Hopkins pressed even harder. She painted a stark picture of small business owners buckling under tax pressure and communities feeling overwhelmed by rapid changes to immigration. The emotional weight of her examples struck a chord, shifting the tone of the exchange from policy debate to public frustration. Starmer attempted to pull the conversation back to Labour's broader message: fairness, investment in services, and long-term stability. But the clash in approach was impossible to ignore. While he spoke in careful, measured language about systems and strategy, Hopkins demanded blunt assurances and immediate solutions. To some viewers, that contrast made Starmer appear cautious to the point of hesitation. Supporters might say he was refusing to oversimplify complex national issues. Critics, however, saw missed opportunities to deliver clear, confident answers. The moment underscored a recurring challenge for him, turning detailed policy positions into sharp, convincing responses under intense pressure.
Other news, Keir Starmer continues his plan to kill off the elderly. He has taken away winter fuel allowance. Now, winter fuel payments, which are targeted to the most in need, won't make it in time for winter. And waspy women who were shafted about getting their pensions, he promised them he would give them...
As the exchange wore on, Starmer's calm exterior began to show cracks. Hopkins zeroed in on specifics, pressing him for hard numbers, firm timelines, and clear commitments, especially on how Labour would tackle illegal immigration. Her questions weren't broad or theoretical, they demanded precise, immediate answers. She repeatedly asked why, in her view, Labour still hadn't presented concrete, easy-to-understand solutions. Each time Starmer tried to respond with broader policy frameworks and long-term plans, Hopkins pulled him back to the same point. What exactly will you do, and when? The more he leaned on careful wording and cautious phrasing, the more the moment seemed to slip away from him. Viewers watching the back and forth could sense the pressure building. What might have sounded reasonable in a policy speech felt uncertain in a high-intensity live setting where clarity and confidence mattered more than nuance. By this stage, the interview no longer felt like a standard political discussion. It had become a test of authority under fire, and Starmer was struggling to regain control of the narrative.
Have you signed the petition?
Not yet, no, because you know me, I'm not very technical at stuff like that. I was going to start differently, but it's your show, you do what you want.
Well, let me just reassure you that it's actually really easy, because I don't normally do these things either, but I thought this thing is getting ahead of steam. And
what was meant to be a routine interview quickly spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster for Starr. Critics wasted no time branding his answers as vague, overly rehearsed, and lacking substance, fueling fresh doubts about whether he can handle tough, unscripted pressure on national television.
Wokeism is a parasite and it kills its host. And finally, darlings, don't get too excited because there is more padding in this thing than an 8-part series on Netflix. Just keeping it real here in Batshit Bonkers.
The reaction was instant and explosive. Social media erupted as clips of the confrontation spread like wildfire. Many applauded Hopkins for tackling the hard questions others wouldn't touch, calling her fearless and unflinching. Others, however, slammed her approach as overly aggressive and sensational, arguing it overshadowed the substance of the discussion. The debate dominated feeds, trending topics, and comment sections within minutes.
Well, the half of them can't fucking see because they're 95. Where are they supposed to find the money? Under a mattress, really? That's what really bugs me, is it's going to cost them more. Okay, where are they supposed to get it? What, are they going to go out and work?
Starmer's supporters argued he remained composed under pressure, but even they couldn't ignore the backlash over his vague and unclear answers. The clash has reignited debates about Labour's policies and Starmer's leadership style, shining a spotlight on big questions about the party's direction. Can Starmer convince voters that his plans effectively address Britain's challenges, Or has this exchange exposed deeper weaknesses in his leadership? Either way, Labour's positions and its ability to communicate them are under renewed scrutiny.
They won't put it on because they don't want to run into debt. And so they sit and then they literally freeze to death. I mean, God, that breaks my heart. If you're listening, you're really...
Hopkins has firmly established herself as one of Labour's most outspoken critics. By confronting Starmer so openly and on a national stage, she may inspire others to follow suit, paving the way for more high-profile challenges to the party's leader. The exchange also underscores a broader issue: leadership accountability. With rising taxes and heated debates over immigration dominating public concerns, the British people expect clear, decisive answers from their leaders. This encounter highlighted just how difficult it can be for politicians to remain composed and persuasive when faced with tough, unscripted questions.
How much can this new Prime Minister blame on his Tory predecessors?
I have to be honest with you. Things are worse than we ever imagined.
A man who has not had a summer holiday, now prepping the country for an autumn of pain.
For many viewers, Starmer's struggle to provide clear, detailed answers reflected a broader frustration with politicians who appear disconnected from everyday realities. In today's political climate, where honesty, clarity, and directness are more important than ever, moments like this can have an outsized impact on public opinion. Starmer's leadership is now likely to be judged not just by the policies he proposes, but by how effectively he communicates them under pressure.
The Chancellor said, and I quote, "I'm clear, I'm not coming back with more borrowing or more taxes. I know that telling the truth to this House is important to the Prime Minister, so will he repeat his Chancellor's pledge?"
The live exchange also underscored the growing power of media figures in shaping political debates. Controversial as she may be, Katie Hopkins used her platform effectively to spotlight issues that resonate with a significant portion of the public. Her no-nonsense approach demonstrated how direct, persistent questioning can push politicians to confront topics they might otherwise sidestep.